have to do that question on the test tomorrow.
Number C.
Whatever the last one is. Okay. Yes, C on the back page. So let me read this one. It says, on Sunday, Greg bought 3.5 kilograms of plant food. Now, plant food is like that Miracle Grow. It's powder. Sometimes it's blue or green. And you mix it with water, and then you pour it on your plants. It's like fertilizer, okay? So that's what he bought, all right? And he used 1 4/6 kilograms on his strawberry plants. And he used 3/12 kilograms for his tomato plants. How many kilograms of plant food did Greg have left? So, before I do anything, okay, I'm going to don't draw this. I'm going to relate this to something you did back in 2nd and 3rd grade. And I don't want anyone to shout out the answer. I'm going to pull a stick. Okay. So, Grant, I pulled your stick. What goes where the question mark is?
4.
Okay. What's the first thing you did in your mind to figure that out?
I did 18 plus 3.
You added 18 plus 3. So 18 plus 3 was 21. Then you either did 21 plus 4 equals 25, or in your mind you might have done 25 minus 21. Okay? That's how we're going to solve this problem, because we have strawberry plants, tomato plants, and how much does he have left? Go ahead and underline those while I erase this over here. Okay, so I'm going to label this tape diagram. Strawberry, tomato. What do I put here? Left. And actually, that's the question today. How many kilograms of plant food did Greg have left? So we're going to figure that one out, okay? What do I need for my total amount that he bought? 3.5 kilograms. Am I going too fast?
No.
Okay. Now remember, if these brackets are hard for you, just make a little V. Okay? So, how much did he use for his strawberry plants? And the tomato plants?
312.
Okay, so what do I have to do to solve this problem? I've got to add these together, don't I? Yeah, because I'm going to add together. Remember, Grant added 18 plus 3, and he got 21. Then he figured out 4 went in the box, okay? So that's the same thing we're going to do here. Now, boys and girls, this is a 2-step problem, and I really feel like if you would draw a line about right here, you'll have room above and below the line to solve the problem. Both problems, I mean, okay? So the first question mark is, what is these two added together? So 1 4/6 plus 3/12. You think that's going to be more than 1 whole? 3/12 plus 4/6? I do too. I'm going to put 4 equal signs there. Okay, now just a minute, okay? I'm going to ask you a question. What's the best strategy to find the common denominator? I don't want to do 72. That's 6 times 12. Just a minute. I'm going to pull a stick. You guys have a really good memory over that Easter weekend. Yondell, what's the best strategy to find this common denominator?
Oh, yeah.
There's a better one than LCM. It's faster. Jackson? Bella?
You divide it or you subtract it?
Yondell. I mean,
Oh
Eduardo.
my god.
I haven't done that for a long time.
The larger
The larger denominator? Is that what I'm going to pick? Yeah, I'm going to pick 12. Remember we learned that strategy last week, didn't we? Sometimes you can pick the largest denominator. Now, if you did LCM, you would have got 12 anyway. Watch. You don't have to write this. But, right? Okay? So, the next thing I want you to know, and I'm going to say it carefully so Everybody listen. Are you ready? On the test, for this first part, your denominators are going to be 3 and 4. So you will still have 12, but you will have to multiply them together to get 12. Okay? So on part 1 of this problem, you're going to have 12, but it won't be 6 and 12 as the denominators. Okay? All right. Go ahead and solve this. I think you know how, don't you?
Yes, it was.
What?
I was thinking of dividing 3 12s by 3, because then I will end up being 1/4.
You were thinking way high on a higher level than I was. I was just going to use the biggest number. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead and use the numbers that are here, even though Logan's saying 3/12 could be simplified to 1/4. That's what he's saying. Okay? But let's not simplify yet. So 6 times what equals 12?
2,
So that's going to be 8.
1, 3.
It's not more than one whole, is it? No. So I have, for my answer, 1 and, is that what you got? Now that's only part of the answer to this problem.
Now how much is left?
That's only 1 and 11/12 right here. Okay? Now we have to figure out how much is left. Now I want you to do something. Yandel, what am I going to subtract this from? The total. What's the total?
3 and 1.
Write it here, boys and girls, but we're going to solve it over here. So everybody write 3.5 minus 1 and 11/12. Did you write that down? Now I'm going to do some of this in my head. What can I do in my head? 3 minus 1. So I'm going to write 2.5 minus 11/12. Now, don't space off right here. This was lesson 12 that we just did. We have a problem, Caden. You weren't here for this, so I really want you to pay attention, okay? We have a problem. Is the big dog in front? No. Is 1/2 larger than 11/12?
No.
No. I'm going to draw it. You don't have to. But 1/2 would be about that much. 11/12. What do you think?
Yeah.
About that much? So, which one is larger? The second one. So we have to decompose this number. And Kaden, that's what you missed, and I want you to write this down carefully. Why don't you move to that other chair so I'm not in your way? Just when I record, Kaden, I want you to sit over there, okay? So, 2 whole can be 1 plus 2/2 plus, what, boys and girls? 1/2. Now this is pretty cool. 2 and 12. Can I use the largest one again as my common denominator? Okay, so I'm going to do 1 plus. You agree?
Yep.
And then I'm going to pull a stick for that first fraction. Remember, you're subtracting here. So what's the common denominator, boys and girls? 12. And that's exactly like it will be on the test. I just think the 2.5 is different. Eduardo.
Oh.
What fraction goes here?
3/2.
3/2. Does everyone know where I got that? Okay, Kaden, look. I did 2 plus 1 equals 3/2. You remember? You remember? Okay, good. All right, and then here I'm going to put 11/12. Can you go ahead and solve it now? Solve it. Okay, I'm going to pause it while you figure it out. So tell me what to write, Jackson. What do I need to write here? Times 6. You guys agree? And what do I write here, Jackson? Good. And then 18 minus 11. Whoops. Brendan, what's 18 minus 11?
7.
So 1 and 7/12, right? Okay, now here's what I want you to do. Erase this question mark. No, you don't have to. Let's just put it here. Circle that. Draw an arrow down. Okay, so what does it mean, boys and girls, when I draw that arrow down to the next problem? We're going to use that answer for part B. Now, that would mean you would need to get one checked from me before you start on part B, right? What will you need to get checked? The answer for A. A is the only two-part problem on this test, I'm pretty sure. Okay? So technically, it's probably the hardest problem. And if you can solve that, you can do the rest of the test fine. Okay? All right, let me read this. Greg wants to feed his strawberry plants 2 more times and his tomato plants 1 more time. He will use the same amounts of plant food as before. How much plant food will he need? Does he have enough to do so? Explain your answer using words, pictures, or numbers. So first of all, do I have a total of plant food left? 1 and 7/12. Okay. Then it says he wants to do his strawberry plants 2 more times and his tomato plants 1 more time. So what if I just use letters to represent these? Okay, go ahead and get this written down. Not only do we have to use the answer from problem, or the first part, we have to use the amounts from the first part. So remind me, how much did it take for strawberry plants? 1 and 4/6. And how much did it take for the tomato plants? 3/12. So here's what I've got. I'm not going to add together and subtract on this, but why do you think I wrote this little b? In your head, right? Can I add this in my head?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to write the problem. 2 and 8/6 plus 3/12. Now I know all this can be simplified and it can be changed to an improper fraction or a mixed number, but I don't want to do that yet, okay? All I have to do is add this up. I already know the answer to the second question. Here's the first question. How much plant food will he need? I don't know that yet. But I already know this answer. Does he have enough?
To do so?
Does he have enough?
Yes.
Is 1 and 7/12 enough to add all this together and use all this? No. Doesn't have near enough. We're going to find out how much more he needs when we solve the problem, okay? So, what do you think you're going to use for denominator here?
12.
This is becoming a pattern, don't you think? So the first thing I need to do is get my whole number on there. And then I'm using 12 again. Now, would you like to know anything more about the test? You're going to use 12 on the entire first page. That's nice, isn't it? Alex, 6 times what equals 12?
2.
Good. So 8 times 2?
6.
So this is an improper fraction.
What?
So I'm going to put another equal sign, right? Did you subtract by accident?
Yeah.
Okay, watch your signs. Okay, and when I taught this in class, I did something like this. Remember? I highlighted the whole numbers so I would know So he needs 3 and 7/12. And he only has 1 and 7/12. He needs 2 more kilograms, doesn't he? Well, it'll be easy to figure out how many bags to buy, right? Okay, so how could I answer these 2 questions? He will need 3 and 7/12, and he does not have enough?
No.
Will that answer both questions? Okay, so Greg, get to writing, will need 3 and 7/12 kilograms, and he only has 1 and 7/12 kilograms. Morning than in the afternoon. If Greg picks 5 and 3/4 kilograms in the morning, how many kilograms of strawberries does he pick in the afternoon? Now, what I want to do right now is underline the question. Okay? And then, but don't answer this, but think about it. All right? Does he pick more in the morning or the afternoon? I said don't answer it, just think about it. Zane's right, it's the afternoon. So we're going to call this one morning, this one afternoon. Okay? Now, the problem tells us how much he picks in the morning. How much does he pick in the morning? No. That's how much less he picks.
We don't know.
It does tell us. It tells us 5 and 3/4. Okay? And it also tells us how much more is in the afternoon. Right? Now what they want to do is they want you to get confused and they want you to think, I need to subtract because I have to figure this out. But I want to read the question again. Okay? Don't put that question mark there. How many kilograms of strawberries does he pick in the afternoon? That's the question. So where does my question mark need to go? On top of the afternoon, or underneath it if you can't fit it up there, okay? How am I going to figure this out, though?
We need to add 5 and 3/4.
That's what they want you to think. That's what they want you to think. How am I going to figure this out? Aubrey? Look at the top and bring it down. It's the exact same size, isn't it? That's for a reason. Now, Raymond, how am I going to solve this?
We need to add 5
And
5 and
3/4.
3/4 plus 2 and 3/5.
Okay, can I add any of this in my head before I write it down? Okay. 5 plus 2 is 7. So 7 and 3/4 plus 2 and 3/5.
No, there's no 2.
Oh, thank you. Well, that would be bad, wouldn't it? So now 7 plus all the way down, right? I feel like I'm going to need 4. You think I'm going to need 4? So our little pattern with add and subtract, on the front it was add, subtract, add. On the back it's add, then subtract. Okay, so 3/4, 3/5. Common denominator destiny. What is it for 4 and 5? Now someone in one of the earlier ones said it was 5. But we're not using that same strategy, are we? We can't, because 4 doesn't go into 5. So we have to multiply them. What's 5 times 4?
20.
I'm guessing Destiny said 20 and I just couldn't hear. But you can talk louder now because you don't have a mask on. Okay. Can you solve this problem? I'm going to push pause while you do it. All right, Carlos, tell me what to write here. 4 times what equals 20?
5.
Okay. Carlos, keep going. What do I write here?
4.
Okay. So 3 times 5, 3 times 4, 15 plus 12. Preston, what is it? So I have 27 twentieths. When I taught it to you, we did some highlighting, didn't we? So my answer here, I'm going to pull a stick, is Liliana. What's the answer? 8 7/20. And that is the answer to this one. Okay? Now let's go down and look at B. This one's really cool because it's got a mixed number mixed with the mixed number, but the second mixed number is a decimal, which we can turn into a whole number and a fraction. Now, I'm going to tell you, I helped a 7th grader with their math last week, and she had a problem similar to this, only she had the multiply or divide, I don't remember which, but in 7th grade, you're going to have to know that a decimal can be written as a fraction, or a fraction can be written as a decimal. Now, she had a calculator, and her teacher said she could use it. So do you think she changed the decimal to a fraction? Or do you think she changed a fraction to a decimal?
Fraction to a decimal.
That's right, because you can put 0.5 in the calculator, can't you? Well, this is a fraction test. So we're going to change 2.5
2 1/2.
2.5.
Sad.
Okay. And you can write it wherever you want. You can write it above or write it below. You can't really see mine. Okay. All right, now I'm going to read this, and then we're going to talk about what goes where. Greg also picks tomatoes from his garden. He picked 4 4/10 kilograms, but 2.5 kilograms were rotten and had to be thrown away. How many kilograms of tomatoes were not rotten? Now, I'm going to underline the question again. You should also. Now, what do you think goes where? Joe? Okay, that's what block 3 said. 4 4/10 in the first box, 2.5 in the second box. That's what they want you to write. And then they want you to go, I guess I'll add those together because I don't know what else to do. Don't do that. Okay. I'm looking for words that go here, not numbers.
Tomatoes and
Zane,
Tomatoes are not.
you're getting closer.
Like they're not rotten.
Rotten is one of them.
And then
not rotten.
Joe,
left.
you're close.
Not rotten.
Not rotten.
Right, guys.
I know, but you didn't raise your hand.
Oh, shoot.
Okay, so we got that much done, right? Now what numbers do I put where?
Rotten.
I spelled rotten.
It's right in front of you on that paper. Okay? All right. So the 4 4/10 is going where?
On top.
On top. Very good. And the reason, whoops, come on, eraser. And the reason it's going on top, because isn't that how much he picked?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the total amount he picked. We want to find out how many were not rotten. So my question mark is here. Now I'm going to subtract, aren't I? Okay? Should I subtract part of this before I start? So 4 minus 2, 2 4/10 minus 1/2. Now, we need to talk about this. And the reason we're going to talk about it is because I need to check to see if my big dog is in front.
Yes, I know.
It's not.
Yes.
Half would be 5/10. So can I do 4/10 minus 5/10?
No.
No. So that means I've got to decompose this. This part I really need you to listen to here, okay? So I'm going to make this 1, and Joe, you're going to help me, okay? What will 1 whole be if 10 is my denominator? 10/10, right? Okay. So I can take my 1 and put it here, my first fraction that I write down, oh, I pulled in just it. Intel, remember how we did this?
Yeah.
So what will it be?
14.
14 tenths and 1/2. Now, the strategy for finding the common denominator. Are we gonna?
Can go into 10.
2 does go into 10. So can I pick the largest number? Okay. So 10 is largest. Can you finish this problem?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to pause it while you do. All right. I'm going to pull a stick. Moises, what do I write here on this first row? 10 times what?
1.
Okay. And 2 times what?
5.
Good. So my answer, Zane, 14 minus 5.
9.
So I've got 1 and 9/10. Okay. The last problem. You ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best teacher